Hey Jose Monkey, please find where I am.
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. Guys, this one had me off on a wild goose chase looking for a thing I was never going to find. But I eventually figured out one clue that helped me find it. So what can we see? This video begins with this person asking to be found. Next, they flip the camera around and show us what looks like a restaurant with outdoor seating. Then we see this building here with a large US flag and some signs that aren't really readable. The best I could make out is that this sign appears to end in INC, or Inc. Just beyond that, we can see what looks like an Olive Garden restaurant. Next, we get this building that has Budweiser and Busch signs, and it also has a large satellite dish, so I was thinking it was like a sports bar or something. Next, there's a short break in the video, and I assumed it was because there's some kind of clue here that would have given away the location. After the break, we see this angled wall here, which has a logo on it with the letter C. I did not recognize that logo, but I did make note of the green edge that we see on this angled wall. After that, we see a building which I thought looked kind of like a bank. And then down the road we see some signs, and I thought that this one might be a sign for Dunkin' Donuts. Next we see a billboard for what I assume is a realtor. I'll come back to that in a minute. And then the video ends showing us these brick buildings here, but I didn't see any signs or anything like that. I also tried to see if I could identify any of the license plates on the cars that we see in the video. But they were all a bit too blurry to make out. And to make matters worse, I couldn't tell for sure whether we were in a state that required front plates or not. Some of the cars appear to have front plates, but some do not. And for the ones that do have front plates, it was impossible to tell whether they were actually state registration plates or whether they were just decorative plates of some kind. So no help there. Okay, but we did have that billboard. Like I said, I believed it was for a realtor. The words at the top of the billboard said something about making a smart move, which I assumed was a clever bit of wordplay involving the word move. There's also a phone number on here which appears to end in letters, SOLD, spelling the word sold. And those letters tell us that the phone number ends in 7653. Also, I was pretty sure it was a real estate sign because whenever you see a sign like this that has people's faces on it, it's almost always a real estate agent, an insurance agent, or a politician. You guys remember Herbie from Clinton, Tennessee? Love Herbie. Anyway, there was no way I was going to pull a Herbie on this one because I couldn't even see the people's faces clearly or any names or anything like that. So I tried to figure out that phone number. It wasn't easy though, because we can't see any area code here that's readable. And we know the last 4 digits, but I was having trouble making out the other 3 digits. So I just tried all sorts of different numbers that I thought I was seeing. And guys, I found all kinds of different realtors that had phone numbers that ended in 7653, spelling sold, because I guess that's pretty common in that industry. But there were way too many to know which one was right. I tried Googling for what I assumed might be a slogan, that thing about making a smart move, but I also discovered that multiple realtors apparently think that's a very clever way to advertise. Just no new ideas in real estate, I guess. Anyway, so that billboard wasn't really leading me to anything helpful. I scratched my head a bit trying to figure out what else I could look for in this video. I knew that we had the Olive Garden location, and I was thinking that we might have a Dunkin' Donuts. So I thought maybe I could do some data mining queries against the OpenStreetMap database to see where there were Dunkin' Donuts locations that were very close to Olive Garden restaurants. I didn't really know what state to look in though. So I just picked a couple of the states that had real estate agents that either used smart move in their name or advertising, or had a phone number that ended in sold. And guys, I got some results, but none of them were right. And after doing that for about an hour, I decided that I needed a new approach. I realized that I still had not figured out what that C logo was. Guys, I tried doing a reverse image search on the logo itself to see if I got any hits, but nothing that I got really seemed right. I was worried that the image itself was a bit too blurry to get any kind of useful results. Looking at the logo, I could tell that it was a black and white logo with the letter C in the middle, and we had something in the 4 corners. I couldn't tell if it was like a plus sign or squares or what it was. I tried describing that logo to Google, but I didn't get very far with that approach. But that's when I had a crazy idea. What if I just tried to recreate the logo that I was seeing? I figured maybe if I could make a version of the image that was clearer, I might have better results getting a reverse image search to match. And guys, this is actually an approach I have tried to use a few times in the past, but it's never really panned out before. So I recreated the logo as best I could and then plugged that into Google Lens. And I got a bunch of matches, and a couple of them actually seemed plausible. There's a business called Codes, which dispenses things. I will not elaborate on that because the robots that police what we say in these videos sometimes don't like it when you talk about that sort of thing. But anyway, that business's logo looked kind of similar to what I was looking for. Theirs had angled lines in the corners and not squares like I had used. But looking at the video, that seemed like it would be possible. So I went to their website and I discovered that they operate in Missouri. I still had that Dunkin' Donuts Olive Garden query up, so I decided to just plug in Missouri and see what I got, but I got absolutely no results. So guys, at that point, I just pulled up Google Maps and searched for where Codes stores were located in Missouri. And I got several results, but the first one that I clicked on showed me this image. While I did not see that C logo anywhere, this angled wall looked very much like what I saw in the video. So I dropped down to Google Street View to check it out. And the very first thing I saw when I did that was this building, which looked very much like the building I thought was a bank in the video. And when I turned the camera around, I saw this billboard. And guys, that was it. You were here, outside of Pathways Bookstore in St. Louis, Missouri. I was able to confirm all the details using Street View. Here's that building with the signs that were hard to read and that large flag. Turns out the sign says Brewers Service Incorporated. That bar next to it was Shotzi's Bar and Grill. Also, we can see those brick buildings from the end of the video, and there's a sign here in the Street View that unfortunately was not in the video, or else it would have been a lot easier to find. By the way, that sign that I thought was a Dunkin' Donuts, that was actually a Yamaha sign at a motorcycle shop, so oops. Okay, before I finished up with this one, I wanted to figure out what that person was trying to hide with the edit in the middle of the video. But guys, I'm still not 100% sure. So there's a Street View photo from very close to where the person was standing when they recorded this video, in the parking lot. And in that photo, we can see that there's a street sign across the street there. So I thought maybe that's what they were trying to hide. But guys, that photo is really old. It's from 2010. And when you move out to the road, the Street View was updated in 2022, and that sign is no longer there. So unless they put a new one in after that, I don't think that's what it was. I guess it's possible they were just trying to avoid showing this business here. The business appears to have two names, Coffee Culture and Cookie Hustle, and those are pretty distinctive names, so I guess I could have found it quickly from that, so maybe that's what it was. Anyway, maybe that person will check in the comments and tell us what it was that they were trying not to show us. Okay, it's time to check which previous location is closest to this one. And guys, this is a really close one, because this is very close to a location I previously found in lightning round number 7, also in St. Louis, Missouri. That is only 1.3 miles or about 2 kilometers away from this spot. So it's not the closest pair that we've had so far, but it's pretty close. Guys, don't forget, if you're watching over here, you can also watch over there, just in case. That's all for now. If anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.